Let's put your competition committee hat on now, Stephen, if you don't mind. One of the last times we talked was when the pass interference conversation about being reviewable was up in the air. It has now been settled. There's a 1-year, I guess, pilot program, one would say. Is this what you wanted? You like the end result of the conversation here?
You know, I felt like there was I ultimately went along with there was a need to do something after the New Orleans game, to make an attempt to right a wrong. But am I comfortable with it? Not totally. I think this is going to be a challenge for our officials. It's going to be a challenge for our league, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this works out. And I don't think anyone was for voting it in full time. Let's see how this goes. There are going to be some challenges out there, but we've got the best in the business. I think our officials are the very best in the business. I think we've got a great staff, in New York, and we're going to execute this. And if anyone can do it, I got confidence our people can do it.
Well, I know every single time I talk to you, whether it's on this show, Stephen, or off the air, whenever I do cross paths with you, you always mention, it seems to me, more than anybody else in the competition committee, about unintended consequences of rules and wanting to make sure that everything's discussed and everything is covered. And obviously this rule, I'm already sensing an unintended consequence, which is just like anything that's reviewable. Once the review process is open, it's open for review, even if it wasn't asked by the coach to be reviewed. And to me, that is definitely not the intended spirit of making pass interference reviewable. That's the one that really gets me, and I think that fans are going to be freaking out about, Stephen. I wonder what you think, if that is
well, like I said, Rich, it's the unintended consequences that bite you. I think if you were to ask any one of our members on the competition committee, they all have their concerns. And but at the same time, I think it's something that we needed to give a go. And like I said, I think we've got the very best officials. I think they do a great job. Anytime you're under a microscope, if any one of us were under the microscope, they're under, with television the way it is this day and time and the number of cameras that we have on the field, you're going to have issues, and you're going to have things where people question or second guess. And, we just need to do this and look at it. And, we've done things before with rules, and we'll evaluate this one very closely, and we'll evaluate it as the season's going on, and we'll get on our calls and we'll critique and see if there's anything we can do better as we move forward. But this is certainly something new, and this is certainly something we'll be watching closely.
Well, and as you always know, I make suggestions, though, Stephen. I don't just, I
as
always,
you should. We love our fans. We love our fans. We love our media. That's what they're for. And the game. Y'all make the game what it is.
Well, here it is. Here's my suggestion. Here's my suggestion for you.
Okay.
Is that you tweak it that pass interference is not in the bucket of always reviewable once the review process is open. You have to specifically ask for it to be reviewed, and you cannot use it to see OPI when you're asking for DPI and vice versa. Just remove that from the bucket of everything's reviewable, and maybe it's tweaked to the point. What do you think of that?
Well, I think it's certainly something we're going to continue to discuss, and it's a great point.
Thank you. Okay, good.
These things are a work in progress, Rich. There's no question. And as we see this thing play out in the preseason, obviously we're going to be watching it very closely as we really get a full slate of games as we move forward and we see how this thing plays out. It's going to be watched very closely, and it's suggestions like yours that we'll keep an eye on and see what the unintended consequences are, and we'll move forward from there.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live, or download The Rich Eisen Show app.